you say,
fans,
sign
here
me up.
we go.
Let's see what it plays out.
SparStar Promotions is proud to present the rerounds of mixed martial arts in the featherweight division. This bout is sponsored in part by Eliminate. Once again, our referee in charge of this bout, Chris, the Crippler Liban. And now, introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing teal and black trunks. He is training out of TDS, San Diego, California. He weighed in 139 pounds. His record 3 wins, 3 losses, with 1 win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Julyan the King Hanna! His opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing highlight colored trunks. He is training out of Fight Science MMA and 10th Planet Thousand Oaks by way of Vietnam. He weighed in 140 pounds. He brings to the cage an undefeated record, 3 wins, no losses, with 1 win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Thien the Gunslinger Luu-Nguen. All right, fans, here we go. The rerounds of mixed martial arts in the featherweight division.
For those of you who aren't good at party games and were probably wondering what Thien was doing, he is a gunslinger. That is his nickname. So thus he was loading a gun. Just to give you the emphasis behind it, let's see what this fight looks like right now, John.
Yep, Thien coming out southpaw. And Julyan switching stances from orthodox to southpaw. Both of these fighters really, really good. I'm very excited for this match. I honestly have no idea how this is going to go. Thien typically, even though he's new to MMA himself, usually outclasses his opponents, but with Julyan Hanna, oh man, it's going to be a tall order to just put one over on him quick like this. So,
and there is maybe some restraint because you do know how good Thien is at grappling. So I think he's
overhand
also
stepping in, overhand left. Yeah.
He's also demonstrated how quickly he's picked up certain elements of striking. So, you know, for him to just be doing this like this is he wants to see how he fares just on the stand-up before he goes to his very, very accomplished grappling.
Hanna switching to orthodox, or to a southpaw. Momentarily switches back to orthodox. Not sure what he's looking for there. He's only staying southpaw momentarily.
Yep.
And, Thien immediately, wow, he closed that distance. It was very telegraphed, but he just ran through it, got his hands connected, pulled the legs away from the cage, gets the takedown.
Hard to stop a moving train sometimes, John.
Yeah, great momentum with that. Still difficult to connect the hands typically the way that Thien did. Very nicely done. Now working from the half guard on top.
And this is a great position to be working in MMA. In jiu-jitsu, we always hope to clear that leg. Here in MMA, you are more than welcome to stay in this position so that you can basically start trying to get strikes in, advance if you want to.
Yeah,
but
at the very least keeps him down, right?
I mean, look at this. You have kind of your choice of where you want to go. Do you want to go to the striking or do you want to go to the grappling? And I think that's what we're seeing here from Thien, which is maybe a classic pass to maybe going to mount. If he can get the mount, then maybe starting to show off some striking there, but some really good regarding here, John.
Yeah, interesting too. Thien had double unders, which is a great passing position, and it looked like he got rid of the near side underhook, opting to try to go for the head control. There finally does pass, and now he's in the mount, and Julyan Hanna better be able to get out of here quick. 20 seconds left, so he could weather the storm, but this is terrible for Hanna.
Yeah, this is not great, and I think Thien wants to probably get a...
Posturing up good with getting that foot in there from Hanna. Able to get Thien away from him at the very least. He avoided a lot of damage, and then Thien falls back right into the mount. Really nicely done. Good awareness from Thien.
Wish I could, friend.
Makes it look effortless. Good damage control and escape from Hanna at the end, though, because that could have been really bad for him.
I was concerned, but I saw some excellent awareness on what to do in that position. I saw him stay pretty calm, all things considered. And maybe if it was a different opponent, different circumstances, his entry there was almost where if it was somebody else, you could maybe attack that leg. But right then and there, he's like, nah, that's not what we need. We need to get right back up. And yet, even in that transition, Thien found his way back into a very solid mount position.
Yeah, just pretty much just falling right into mount. But it was obviously like a calculated move.
Yeah.
But just the fact of taking advantage of the small angles and timings to get back to that dominant position, really nicely done. He always seems so composed, which is crazy for this being his, what is this, his fourth fight? Yeah.
And I have to wonder this, which is, how much do you let a fighter like Thien indulge on a stand-up kind of moment when in reality you know what the success story is? You know what you can pull off if you really implement that grappling. And you've already seen some evidence that maybe Hanna's going to be harder to submit there than anticipated. Nice strike there by Thien, though.
Julyan with some erratic movement.
I mean, yeah, he definitely backed up to move forward.
There was a stepping kick, and you could hear that all the way in the back, the way he connected with the arm. Switching to southpaw, back to orthodox is Hanna.
You know, I find it very interesting because having had the opportunity to interview Thien, I will tell you this. He is somebody who, even though he loves grappling, and, you know, that's what we know him best from.
Ooh,
he's
good
somebody
right hand from Hanna.
Originally wanted to do MMA. Like, that was always the plan.
And good closing the distance from Thien. Wasn't able to get the takedown initially, but here, oh, man. Beautiful. He had that that tight waist, and it looked like he had a Metzger there, underhooking that far leg, and then used his inside leg to trip. Makes it immediately into mount again.
But you'll notice,
really
John,
nicely
I mean,
done.
this time he has more time to work. Originally, in that first round, he had about 30 seconds to work in that mount position. Now, he can take his time here. He could start creating this. And I mean, that was starting to signal like maybe he thought about that arm bar. But look, this is some excellent evasive maneuvering that you've seen by somebody who, in many different cases, would have been submitted so many different ways if they were not this aware of what's happening in this position.
Yeah, and here Hanna just trying to do some damage control, trying to control the posture and not allow Thien to get that head height and then tee off with the punches. The closer that Hanna can keep. Oh, and going for this armbar, steps over, and he's got it. Wow, what a submission. Thien Luu from mount sets that armbar up, and this guy is seemingly unstoppable.
You know, it is weird because when you're watching it, you got the sense he was looking at that arm bar. If you're underneath, you think for a split second, maybe I know what he's going to try and do. And yet trying to stop it is very difficult, especially with somebody that proficient, that quick. What I would tell you is this, though. I think maybe there is some solace in knowing that if you really look at the game plan, it did look more like Thien was trying to get the knockout from that mount position. Because you didn't see him set up the arm. You didn't see him isolate it at any given time until he really needed to. But the first time you saw him there, you started thinking, like, maybe he's just going to be looking for it. But now this is toward the end of the fight. He starts to make the adjustment. And guess what? When he wanted the armbar, he got the armbar.
Yeah, but you're right, though. Like, he didn't really go after it or even make it look like he was going after it until he went after it right there at the end.
And that's
just the one
about
try.
the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
So up until then, when he had the mount, the previous time and up until right there, he was kind of maybe thinking, I don't know, let's see what I could do. And that's when you saw Hanna's legs go up, trying to create some movement, trying to create some erratic movement. And yet, from here, classic textbook, this is what you hope for all your jiu-jitsu students to be able to do. But proof, kids, the arm bars do work. Let's go back to the cage for the official decision right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, at
And
2
likely a
minutes,
very memorable
13
speech
seconds
from
of
Thien.
round number 2, referee in charge, Chris the Crippler Lieben, stops the contest due to a tap out from an arm bar submission. Our winner in the red corner, he is still undefeated, Thien the Gunslinger Luu-Nguen.
That's right, fight fans. Thien Luu-Nguyen. Tell it like it is, brother.
Hey, first things first. Let's shout out to all the Latinos out there. Hey, I mean, all joking aside, I gotta thank Daniel Park, Drake Maloney, my coaches. I mean, this whole fight camp, we worked so much stuff, so unfortunately I didn't get to show too many.
Now let's walk us through your finish here.
Let's see it. He's framing the whole fight, so like, all right, I mean, free arm, baby, you know? So like, all right, let me just take that home real quick, cook that up, medium rare. Simple, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I know this, Heather, wherever you are, I know this is supposed to be like a contender fight, blah, blah, blah. I'm a different breed. I don't need no belts. I am the belt. So let me give you all the fight y'all want. There's a little white boy that's been running his mouth about land dancing. Woo! And I can't allow that. So you know what, Heather? Let's make that fight next. I'll stay up at 45, no big deal. I'm gonna dance on his grave like I did to both of his teammates.
That's right, fight fans. Make some noise for Thien Luu-Nguyen.
His friends call him Lou. I don't think those people will be referring to him as Lou anytime soon.